Unseen Control from the series Beyond the Known, written by Drayvon. Chapter 1 The Pickup. Lexi kept her emotions sealed tighter than the tinted windows on her Tesla Model 3. She wasn't cold, just practiced. She knew how to coast on autopilot, how to keep her eyes forward, voice soft, and tone neutral. Night after night, she ferried strangers from curb to curb across the city, guided by digital voices and blinking icons. The hum of the engine, the soft flicker of LED lights on her dash, and the rhythm of turn-by-turn directions had become lullaby. She rarely spoke unless prompted. Most passengers didn't notice. Those who did chalked it up to the late hour of focused driving. What they couldn't see were the thoughts beneath the surface, tightly coiled and quietly flickering like low voltage behind her eyes. It was a Thursday when she picked up Cameron. He stood outside a modest bookstore downtown, hands in the pockets of a well-worn hoodie, hair slightly unkempt but clean. He had the quiet kind of presence that didn't demand attention but somehow earned it. Lexi noticed his polite nod as he entered the car. He didn't slam the door. He didn't immediately reach for his phone. He simply sat and buckled in. "Evening," he said, voice steady but light. "Evening," Lexi echoed. They didn't talk much. A few casual comments about the playlist. A brief exchange about the unreasonably warm weather. She noticed the way he answered, deliberate, but not forced. Not the kind of man who fills silence just to avoid it. That oddly made her feel at ease. After the drop-off, she was surprised to find herself lingering at the corner cafe where she left him. Cameron sat at a window seat with the laptop open and a coffee half full. He saw her and gestured toward the open seat across from him. Maybe it was the way the night felt softer than usual. Maybe it was the flicker of something rare. Maybe connection. Lexi sat down. They talked about nothing and everything. Jobs, old movies, the weirdness of city life. She admitted her GPS had been glitching for weeks, rerouting mid-trip or freezing altogether. Cameron raised a curious brow. "I'm pretty good with this kind of thing," he offered. "Mind if I take a look?" Lexi hesitated for half a breath. Then she turned her phone toward him. He didn't rush. Just typed a few things, explained a patch she might have missed, plugged in a tiny flash drive. "That should do it," he answered, leaning back. She watched his hands, steady, calm, no red flags. Still, as she walked back to her car, something in her chest felt different. Not fear exactly, just awareness. The system booted normally, but the cafe's warmth had left a chill behind her skin, a faint prickling at the base of her neck, and for the first time in months, the route ahead didn't feel predictable. Chapter 2 The Glitch. The hum of the electric engine had always been a comfort, silent, smooth, and obedient. But tonight, when Lexi slid behind the wheel, the silence felt expectant, like the car was already awake, already watching. She tapped the start, the screen illuminated with its usual glow, navigation, and battery life, the time of night. But then, a hesitation, a flicker. The home screen blinked once, then again. The voice came through the speaker, slow and strange. "System update initiated. Do not turn off vehicle." But something was wrong with the voice. It was lower than usual, distorted at the edges, like it had been passed through static or swallowed by a tunnel. The inflection didn't feel robotic. It felt off. Lexi stiffened. Her hands hovered over the console. She tried to tap out the screen, but it didn't respond. Another line of audio followed, this time more gobbled. "Diagnostic in progress. Override. Permission granted." Granted, she thought. Her chest tightened. Panic crawled from her stomach to her throat. Cameron. The thought hit her like a slap. Had she been too trusting? Had he used the update to install spyware? Or worse, was he watching and controlling? Her phone buzzed. Lexi snatched it from the cup holder. A new message flashed. Access code loaded. User target. From an unknown number. She gasped. Another text followed. Confirm, yes, or cancel. Symbols, Commands. No sender ID. The car's display flickered again. Navigation reloaded itself without her touching anything. A route appeared, not her usual one, not one she recognized. Her breath came shallow now. She reached to power off the system, but the screen pulsed and spoke once more. Connection stable, stand by. It wasn't her car anymore. At least that's what it felt like. Like she was just along for the ride. Lexi pulled to the curb, heart pounding. She scrolled back through her texts. Nothing made sense. No explanation, no logic, just digital static wrapped in fear. What she couldn't remember, what she refused to remember, was the call she made earlier that day. The call to tech support. The one where she described the lags and glitches, and the kind woman on the line who said, "One of our freelance techs can walk you through a patch. We'll text you the diagnostics." Cameron hadn't hacked her. He'd actually helped her. The voice, a pre-programmed message from the service center. The text, confirmation codes. Nothing sinister, nothing personal. But in Lexi's mind, the narrative had changed. This wasn't help. This was control. And she didn't know the difference anymore. Chapter 3. Descent. Her car becomes a stranger. It began slowly, barely enough to notice. A drop pin not matching the requested pickup. A new destination blinking onto the dashboard mid-trip. The name of a passenger vanishing from the log, only to reappear later, but spelled differently. At first, Lexi blames the app. Then, inevitably, Cameron. The idea claws at her brain like a parasite, and now it's hungry. On a Tuesday night, she swears the back door is locked on its own before a passenger can get in. He tugs at the handle twice before she locks it up manually. He shrugs it off. She doesn't. On Wednesday, her rearview camera lens flickers not once, but 3 times during a single ride. No bumps in the road. No reason. Just static, then clarity, then static again. Lexi holds her breath each time, watching for something, anything, hidden in the distortion. And the voice, it no longer waits for her input. Sometimes it speaks first, mid-drive, spitting out fragments of unfinished commands. Destination updated. Route recalibrated. Override unauthorized. It's no longer a car, it's a trap. Passengers begin to shift uneasily in the back seat. They glance toward the glowing dashboard, then at her eyes in the mirror. Something in her stare unsettles them. Lexi smiles, rehearsed, but tired and wrong. She asks about their day. They answer carefully. The isolation grows. She deletes rides from her history, starts taking only late-night requests, less talk, and fewer eyes. She disables her in-app dash cam, says it's broken but tells no one. Then she begins watching him. She finds Cameron's profile, basic and harmless. Pictures of his dog, memes, a few text blocks. But to Lexi, every image is a riddle. Every post, a breadcrumb. She pulls up a map of her recent drives, overlays it with timestamps from his photos. Post taken near a coffee shop she just passed. A story uploaded seconds after her car rerouted. Proof? No. Coincidence? Maybe. Not to her. To Lexi, it's constellation of truth. A pattern only she can see. Her obsession deepens. She makes lists, draws lines between pins on a printed map, cross-reference weather reports and signal drops. She's not chasing logic. She's chasing certainty. And certainty always comes with a price. She's no longer sleeping. Her eyes twitch behind the wheel. Her reflection in the mirror grows hollow and stretched. Some passengers try to make conversation, sensing something behind the silence. She nods, laughs even. But she isn't there anymore. She's somewhere else, following him, not for answers, but for justice. Chapter 4. Exposure. Lexi can't sleep, not when he's still out there. Her dashboard glows in the dark like an altar. Notifications stack like evidence. Her car hums, parked and motionless. but her mind races at 80 miles per hour. She opens her laptop. Cameron's social media page is still public. A mistake. His photos, his captions, location tags. She's memorized them all. She studied the light in his eyes, the timestamps, and the background patterns. Her mind rearranges it all, like a puzzle piece, fitting into a narrative only she can understand. She pulls out her phone and hits record. If you're seeing this, she says, voice steady, eyes direct, then you need to be careful of a man named Cameron. He looks harmless, quiet, but he's dangerous. He hacks cars, he spies, he manipulates women through tech support scams. He's taken over my car and taken over my life. She posted, edited raw, no music, no filters. She tags his profile, tags news stations, tech pages, hashtags it digital predator, system hijack, unseen control. It spreads like fire in a dry forest. At first, silence, then comments. Oh my God, this happened to my sister. This dude looks like a creep. Any proof? Weird how she never shows anything real. Lexi doesn't flinch. She doesn't need their belief, just their attention. Next, she screen records her GPS glitching. It's not out of the ordinary, an outdated software hiccup, but in her narration, it becomes chilling. Watch how the system reroutes itself. I didn't touch anything. It's him, always watching. Then she finds one of Cameron's old tutorial videos on YouTube, a harmless walkthrough about cloud syncing and diagnostic checks. To Lexi, it's confession footage. She clips it, cuts out the context, just Cameron's voice saying, the user won't even know it's happening. She reposted it with the caption, proof, he admitted. You hear that? The user won't even know it's happening. Her followers multiply. The video gets stitched, shared, and debated. Cameron's inbox floods. He logs off. She watches his page go dark. No posts, no likes, no story updates, just silence. Lexi smiles, not because she's safe, but because he's exposed. She's convinced herself this is justice, that she's protecting others, that someone had to say something. But behind her eyes, a storm brews, the kind that doesn't end with applause, only silence. Because somewhere under all the noise and likes and retweets, she knows she's not saving people. She's rewriting the story, and she's the hero, no matter the cost. Chapter 5. Fallout. Cameron stares blankly at the email. Suspension of services. Due to recent allegations made public online, we are temporarily suspending your freelance contracts with TechEase, DriveSmart, and AutoLink pending investigation. We appreciate your cooperation during this time. His hands tremble, not with anger, with disbelief. He never touched her car, never logged into her system without consent. All he did was walk her through a public update, something she asked for. Now, he's a predator in the eyes of thousands. Clients start returning his calls. The support thread, where he used to answer questions, locked. His digital reputation, built over 10 years, unravels in 5 days. Meanwhile, Lexi's video breaks 100,000 views. She's featured on a local podcast about women in tech. The host calls her brave, trailblazing, a voice for digital accountability. The hashtags haven't slowed. Her followers climb. Brands begin circling in her inbox. She's a symbol now, of strength, of survival, of standing up. But the story she's telling is a lie, a compelling one, a viral one, but nonetheless, a lie. Cameron breaks his silence. He posts a video, simple, direct, unedited, and just him sitting in his small apartment, the sun spilling through the blinds behind him. Hi, my name is Cameron Lott. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to ask. He exhales. Lexi, if you're watching, please stop. I didn't hack your car. I didn't install spyware. I helped you update your GPS because you asked. We had coffee, we talked, and I left. You made a mistake. Maybe your car has a glitch. Maybe something else is going on, but I'm losing everything, my work and my name. And it's not just me. I've got people asking if I'm dangerous, clients who won't touch my name, people sending threats to my mother. Please, I don't know why you're doing this, but I need you to stop. He stares into the camera, tired, hurt, still polite, still hoping she'll listen. Lexi watches from her phone. Her thumb hovers over the screen, unreadable. She doesn't share the video. She doesn't comment. Instead, she opens her phone again, switches it to selfie mode, and starts recording another post. This time, her voice shakes, but only slightly. He's trying to silence me now. Gaslighting. Classic move. Cameron, this isn't about you anymore. This is about everyone who's been controlled, watched, manipulated through tech. I just happen to be the one brave enough to speak up. She ends with a small smile, clicks upload, and just like that, the story continues. Only one person knows it's not true, but he's the only one no one believes. Chapter 6. Revelation. The waiting room smells like cheap coffee and new tires. Lexi scrolled mindlessly through her notifications. The buzz of fame hasn't worn off. It's louder than ever now. A new sponsor deal. Another podcast invite. Her face is the thumbnail for a trending video titled, "The Girl Who Fought Back, How One Driver Beat the System." She sips her latte, designer, iced, paid for without hesitation. The service rep calls her name. "Miss Shaw?" She looks up, radiant in fresh lashes and subtle smile. "We're gonna need to hold your car a little longer." Lexi straightens and becomes alert. "Why?" The rep flips a clipboard, glancing through the notes. "Your car has 5 open recalls, all critical. They're tied to the exact issues you've been experiencing. Voice command misfires, security lock glitches, system interface bugs, route miscommunication, classic drive mode firmware malfunctions." Her smile falters. "Wait, those weren't from the update?" "Update? No, ma'am. These have been flagged for months. It's good you came in. We'll update the whole system, reinstall clean firmware, and do a full diagnostic before release. Won't take more than a few hours." She stares at him frozen. Everything tightens. The voices, the doors, the messages, the blinking camera, all the terror, the spiraling, the public crusade, all of it explained. Not by sabotage, by manufactured error. The rep gestured politely. "Do you want us to proceed?" Lexi nods slowly. "Yes, fix it." She walked back to the waiting area, but her pace is slower now. The coffee in her hand doesn't taste the same. Lexi sits in the dealership lounge, phone in hand. A drafted post glows on the screen. "Cameron was never the threat. I was wrong. My car was malfunctioning due to manufacturer recall errors. I didn't see it. I owe him an apology. I owe all of you the truth." Her thumb hovers over the post. She scrolls up, sees her last video now with over 3 million views, comments flooded in. "You're a hero. Expose these tech creeps. Lexi for president." Brand deals wait in her inbox. She's booked for another panel next week. A book offer just came in. Her thumb shakes. One truth would unravel it all. The money, the admiration, the version of herself she finally started to like. Posting the truth would be justice, but would also be surrender. She deletes the post and locks the phone. Sometimes the scariest system failure is the one inside ourselves.